big highball, and hello to all the rail fans and model railroaders out there, and welcome to September's update of the Central Division. Boy, I tell you, we are in my favorite time of year. Fall has started. I got up this morning, the temperature was like 49 degrees. That's like a 25 degree drop than what it was even, from yesterday morning. And man, I was feeling great, made a big pot of coffee, put some of that great, pumpkin spice rail cleaner in there, then got started on the layout early. Had this kind of tough spot on the track, so I took some of that milk. Wait a second, reverse that. Milk in the coffee, rail cleaner on the rails. Yep, that works. So anyway, I tell you what, fall is, it's just a time of year when a lot of us spend even more time on the layout, and I plan on doing the same, but even, in the waning days of summer, since my last update, I've made a lot of progress I'm going to share with you, so stay with me. So my layout runs along 4 walls in my layout room. And so along the wall where I have my yard, I would say is probably 80 to 85% done, including my scenery. So I've kind of concentrated on this area and started going back and adding some details. And one of the things I've done is add weeds and wildflowers to the static grass I already had laid on this side. And so I've used the Scenic Express super leaf material and found it makes really nice and realistic weeds and wildflowers. And so the colors I've used is yellow, a light early spring green, as well as a midsummer to late summer dark green. Another thing I've done is using some leftovers from my super tree projects. I've created bushes and undergrowth, and this is just odds and ends that were left over that wouldn't make good trees for various reasons, but I tell you, they make great bushes and undergrowth, so you don't waste anything here. I've also been adding what I call mini scenes, and these are just kind of some fun things you can do to make the layout interesting. Like here we see next to the Bell's Best Dog Food building this old Ford cabover that was parked there for who knows what several years ago, but has been sitting there for so long it's already started to gather rust, and we see the bushes and weeds are already starting to encroach. So another project I've been working on is adding kind of a cloudy haze to my sky blue wall, and I'll admit, painting clouds kind of scares me a little bit. I think it goes back to my last layout, and it was my very first attempt at painting clouds, and they came out looking like cartoon clouds, and I got some ribbing from some of my model railroad buddies on the results, so I kind of guess I developed a phobia. So on this layout, I priced the commercially made cloud backdrops, what it would take to do it for my layout room, and man, the total was just something, price-wise was something I couldn't do. It's like, I can't spend this much money in clouds. So what I did is I got on YouTube and I found this really cool technique using a device called a Woolly and white and gray glaze, and I tell you, I'm really, I think the results turned out good. What I was going for here is a sort of a hazy, kind of a cloudy, real subtle kind of a background, just something to kind of break up that blue. And I think I've accomplished that. So what I'll do on a future how-to video is I'll show you the specifics on how to do this, especially those out there like me who have a cloud phobia. I think you'll like this technique. So one of the off the layout projects I've been working on is I've started weathering a couple of boxcars, and it's time. I need to start weathering some rolling stock, and even my wife Tara, she's like, hey, I love your channel, and she likes watching the videos, but even she's kind of commented, she goes, man, those railroad cars look pretty shiny and new, so it's time. The Railbox boxcar you see here, I'm going to attempt to weather it using artist oils, and I've never weathered using artist oils before. But I've been watching some really good videos on YouTube on how to do that, and a lot of these are put out by the guys that do the military models. And by the way, if you're looking for some good weathering techniques and scenery and things like that, don't overlook our modeling cousins that do the plastic models, both the military and civilian. Now, I model the 1970s era, so I'm not going for a rust bucket look. Railbox is pretty new in the 70s, so I'm using the 2 real-world examples you see here as sort of a guide. So the look I'm going for is a railroad car that's seen some mileage, but is certainly, still pretty new. Certainly not a rust bucket. So one simple homemade device I found, it comes in really handy when you're weathering cars, is you just take a piece of 2x4 here, and then you measure out the distance of where the trucks are screwed in on a railroad car that you're weathering. And you just go back, and using that distance, you just drill a small hole in the wood, tap in a little nail, maybe an inch or so, then cut off the head, and it's perfect. And it allows you to weather the model, to turn it and everything without touching it. It works really great. Well, hey folks, I appreciate you stopping by and visiting the layout. And as I always do at the end of the program, I want to thank all the subscribers to my channel out there. I tell you, you're the ones that help keep me motivated and moving forward, so I appreciate that. And I'll tell you what, it's just a great way to meet other model railroaders and see some of the other great things that some of you are doing out there, so do appreciate that. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I invite you to do so. And if you have any questions or comments, or just want to talk about something model railroad related, be sure to use the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. Now the next update, which will be in October, I hope to have the boxcar finished, or at least partially finished, and I can start showing you the results of how that turned out. And for any of those out there who have used the Artist oils for weathering, be sure to let me know in the comments section below, and if you can put any tips, tricks, or especially any gotchas to watch out for when using oils, I'd appreciate that. And once I have the technique down, that's probably going to be a future how-to video. So we'll see. Keep an eye out for that. But until October, wishing everyone happy model railroading and highball.